Good afternoon and welcome to GrainTV. It's April 8th, 2013. To my left is Logan Burgess and I'm Brock Schimbino. Let's turn over to Fire Tip to see where we ended in Chicago today. Corn was up 4 3/4 cents, soybeans up 15 1/2, wheat in Chicago up 12 1/2, and Kansas City, the leader to the upside, 17 1/2 to the positive. You know, Logan, it was nice to see us turn around here a little bit today, but you know, I have to attribute most of this to short covering ahead of the USDA WASDE report.
Yeah, you know, I certainly think that was part of it. We've seen, in particular, corn and soybeans take quite a beating here last week. So it wouldn't be surprising if we did see some position evening coming into this Wednesday's April WASDE report. Kind of adding to that, though, today, we did have some export inspections reported today, and those came in very good for wheat and soybeans. That seemed to be helping out the price action. Corn, once again, though, missed analyst expectations in terms of inspections, and you know that's kind of a thing that's a nagging concern to this corn market. With a large decline in price here, you know, over $1 on May futures, we still have not really seen export sales pick up. That's something that we're going to be looking for before we see a serious rebound in price. But in general, Brock, in light of the numbers that we saw this morning, can you kind of break down where we're at right now in terms of meeting USDA expectations?
Yeah, but take a look at this chart we've been following all marketing year long. The green line is what we need to be seeing for weekly exports to meet the current USDA projections. This chart is for soybeans. The red bar is what we've actually been seeing. So over the last about 4 or 5 weeks, we actually have come up just a little bit short to meet the current USDA projections on weekly exports. But for the year, we are still running about 146 million bushels ahead of pace to meet those projections, although we did fall about 6.5 million bushels this week. Like you said, though, wheat had a strong showing again this week. Over the last about 10 weeks or so, we've actually exceeded the seasonal pace to meet the current USDA projections, and that's really helped us catch up to and actually exceed the current USDA projections right now on the year. Currently, we're about 6 million bushels ahead of pace to meet those projections, and we gained about 10 million bushels this week alone. So, like you said, strong showing for wheat in particular. Soybeans did beat analyst expectations, but corn did fall a little bit short this week.
Yeah, you know, adding on to some of that sentiment for wheat was, you know, news over the weekend of the confirmation of a large sale to China. We heard some chatter in the market last week about it, so you know, that largely was probably factored into price action, but certainly very good to see that large sale of old crop U.S. wheat here to the Chinese, certainly putting a little bit of a bid in things here moving forward. You know, as we did mention, this Wednesday, Brock, we are going to be getting the April USDA WASDE report. One thing that a lot of people are looking at in particular are production estimates out of South America. We're kind of wrapping up the crop there. We'll have a little bit of a better idea of how production actually went this year. I know that there were some concerns early in the year. Things were too wet. Then we got some dryness coming in. So a number of variables there. You know, what's kind of the trade expecting out of this report?
Yeah, if we take a look at this table here, you can see that for Argentina, we're looking for a slight reduction for the corn and for the soybeans actually being produced. I think a lot of that has to be attributed to those weather concerns that we did have. It's only slight reductions that we're expecting, though, about a 1 million metric ton reduction in corn and just over 1 million for soybeans as well in Argentina, so not large reductions there. For Brazil, we're looking at a slight increase for corn and a slight decrease there for soybeans as well. So a little bit of a two-sided story for Brazil. A little bit better corn, a little bit slightly decrease on the soybean side.
Right. So that's what kind of people are expecting for South American production. As we've been talking about, though, quite a lot here, you know, really after that March 1st quarterly grain stocks report, corn usage has been in the forefront of this grain market in general. And tomorrow we're going to break down in more detail the expectations for corn ending stocks and maybe give you guys an idea of where we could see some revisions. You know, we're expecting revisions to feed usage, certainly that quarterly stocks number, and something that we've been talking about here quite a bit too is ethanol usage or corn used for ethanol, I guess, in that report. That could be something that's going to be revised lower as well, but we'll keep you posted on that tomorrow on GrainTV. You know, in general, Brock, I think that kind of wraps up the action that we saw here on a Monday. Guys, please keep in mind that today was the first day of new trading hours at the CME Group. For the night session here, we're going to be opening up at 7 p.m. Central Time. Trade all through the night. Market will close at 7:45. We'll actually have a half-hour break at that point, and the markets will reopen at 8:30 Central Time and then trade until 1:15 p.m. Central Time. So once again here we kind of have a traditional market open in Chicago. As I said, that's 8:30 a.m. Central Time. If you have any questions about these new hours or want access to these markets yourself, visit us over at grainhedge.com or give us a call anytime here at the office, 877-472-4607. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow.